Welcome into a beautiful McWhorter Stadium on the campus of Clemson University, and it's time for another ACC Weekend Series as the 18th-ranked Tigers host the Boston College Eagles on a beautiful afternoon in upstate South Carolina. Hi, everybody. Alongside Scott Whitlock, I'm William Quagamish. Thanks for joining us today. Coach, these two teams coming from very different points in the ACC standings. BC playing better after a couple of wins over Syracuse. Tigers in good position as well, and both teams really need to make some noise this weekend.
Absolutely. If you're the Boston College team, as you come into town, you want to kind of build on what happened last weekend. You won the last two games of the Syracuse series. You want to try to build some momentum, some consistency, lay some type of foundation for the future of the program. If you're Clemson, the future's all become now. What they want to do is they want to continue to rack up conference wins because they're already in good shape in the ACC. They're gaining momentum and is in pretty good shape in terms of an NCAA bid. They just want to keep racking up the wins.
As we look at the ACC standings before we start play today, you see the Tigers, only Florida State ahead of them in the ACC. Boston College down there at the bottom, but playing better of late.
Yes, they are. They, again, 2-game winning streak. It don't sound like a lot, but when you've had a difficult season, that's big.
And here's a look at the Eagles. They're going to start like this. Ellie Mattia, she is the straw that stirs the drink for them, Coach. Big-time bat at the top. And this is a lineup where they kind of started to put the right pieces in the right spots. They're in a doubleheader sweep of Syracuse.
But so far this season, you know, anything that Boston College has done offensively, it has started with Mattia. You know, if she gets off, they got a chance to score runs. If she doesn't make it happen early, it's going to be hard for them. And it's going to be extra hard anyway because of who you're about to talk about.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Valerie Cagle was sensational. A 5-inning, complete game shutout. A fantastic performance. 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. No hits allowed. First time she's had a complete game no-hitter in her career.
And she was dominant. She overpowered Winthrop.
Absolutely. Cagle looking for more of that. The Tigers looking for more of that from her. And the first pitch is ball one low. And there's Mattia. Talked about her right off the top from Burke, Virginia. She is a do-it-all force at the top of this lineup. She has led off now all 30 games for Boston College this season, and she fouls that one off. It's 1-1.
Yep. Mattia's a slapper. She's going to try to play pepper with somebody over there on the left side of the infield and try to beat it out. Got good speed, hitting .388. That's a hefty batting average right there.
Deep breath from Cagle, and there's a slap foul.
Yep.
She's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes on a gorgeous afternoon here. A little bit of breeze blowing across the field left to right, maybe a bit in. Might help the pitchers this afternoon. We got a couple of good pitchers. We haven't talked about Suzanne Anderson yet, but Cagle's got her work cut out for her.
You better believe it. Boston College's pitcher's got a 2.13 ERA. Anderson does a great job.
1-2. Check swing and no go, says our third base umpire. It's 2-2.
The one thing that I've noticed about Cagle this season, and for what portion of the season we had a year ago, is she gets better as the game unfolds. You see her miss a little bit early in outings, but if she gets in a rhythm and gets in a groove, it's going to be a tough day for everybody.
And Mattia does go around, so Cagle gets her down and away for a strikeout to open things here in the first.
Yep, she made the slap. She made the slap hitter try to put the ball in play from down in the zone. Great job. She couldn't hold up. You don't want to put a ball up high, chest high to a slapper because that's what they want, where they can play pepper. But if you keep it down there, it's difficult.
Martinez grounds to third. This is Logaleo for the second out. And Clemson's defense, this is a very good group. Second in the ACC in fielding percentage. No real holes here. You look at Logaleo, we talked about her, Gilstrap, Herrera, Keller around the infield. Hyatt behind the plate today gets the start. Matamore, Clark, and Barta, just a solid all-around group.
This team has really played well together this season. I got to tell you, they are, in the grand scheme of things, they are clearly ahead of schedule.
It's easy when Valerie Cagle's dealing strikes and getting ahead, 0-1. Keeps the defense on their toes.
Strike one's always a good thing.
The Geary sisters, Nicole and Kristen, no go. Nicole batting .224, sister batting .232. Boston College very excited about this duo on the right side of their infield. Gowrie with a tapper, that's foul.
Cagle loves to keep the ball down and away, but now don't be misled. She throws it very hard, and so when that drop ball is coming in, it's a handful.
She can do just about whatever she wants on 1-2. Here's a grounder to second. Pereira, an easy 1-2-3 inning for Cagle. Tigers coming to bat in the bottom of the first after this. There's a look at the Clemson lineup, 7 right-hand batters, and this again is a lineup that has been awfully good in ACC play, a team that ranks second in the ACC in batting average, slugging, triples, strikeout-to-walk ratio, just an outstanding up-and-down lineup, Coach.
And I love this leadoff hitter. Mackenzie Clark is a very dynamic freshman out of the state of Florida. She's got a big future ahead of her. And then, she'll be followed by Gilstrap, Cagle, and possibly Gombarda. This is a good top part of a batting order.
No doubt. And again, they've got their work cut out for them because Susanna Anderson is outstanding. You see the numbers, an .084 whip and 111 2/3 innings pitched, and she's completed 12 games this year, so somebody with some longevity that can go in. She also got a save in one of the 2 wins over Syracuse last weekend.
Well, if you look at the stats, she just eats up innings for Boston College. She's got practically triple the number of innings any other pitcher on the roster has.
Here's Clark with that .369 batting average. She does get it started. When she gets on base, I'm interested to see this because Boston College pretty good at throwing out base stealers. In particular, defensively, Bacano is outstanding behind the plate, dealing with particularly Clark, but also Gilstrap, who combined for 31 steals and 34 chances.
Yes, and Clark had not been caught stealing until the last home conference series with North Carolina. And she got caught twice. And Clark does it all. She hits the ball in the gap. She's among the conference leaders in triples. And plus, she can hit the ball out of the park. And she's got 5 home runs on the year.
They had one against Winthrop back Tuesday. Fouls one back to stay alive. We talked about Cagle's drop ball. That's really the out pitch for Anderson a lot of the time.
Yes.
That's her go-to.
A lot of folks may not know this, but I am told by top pitchers and pitching coaches that you can actually get more velocity on the drop ball than you can the rise ball. And you would think it'd be the other way around.
Right.
But it's not. It isn't, from what I'm told. And drop ball pitchers that can get it up there with some velocity, they can be very difficult for a team.
Good leadoff hitters work the opposing pitcher. Clark's doing it here, the 2-2. And strike 3 called. It's dropped, and a 2-3 put out from Bacano behind the plate to the first baseman.
See right here, that's on the call strike 3. And the catcher didn't field it cleanly and had to throw it down to first to execute the put out.
A good heads-up play by Bacano and by Gowrie down there. Here's Ansley Gilstrap.
Gilstrap's a great story.
Boy, she is. And a really good softball player.
Yes, she is. But I became familiar with her when she was playing at USC Upstate prior to transferring into Clemson. She grew up a Clemson fanatic. Unfortunately, when she was picking schools, Clemson didn't have a softball program yet, so she went up and played at USC Upstate, but she got to be a graduate transfer coming in here to play her final season as a Clemson Tiger. Her family are Clemson people, and I just know it's very special. But her story of everything she's endured to get this season is extra special.
Yeah, for sure. She missed all of last year due to a medical situation and made her debut, and it was something. A sight to behold here at McWhorter Stadium when she made her debut in a Clemson uniform. As she takes a strike here, it's 2-1.
This young person had to endure brain surgery a year ago. Now think about that. And now she's out here starting at shortstop for a nationally ranked ball club.
And hitting it well, 353,
yes.
4 home runs.
Well, she was an all-conference player. As you see right here, she's going to dunk one over into left field.
And she's on her horse to second, and sliding in with a one-out double is Gilstrap.
Yep. As I was going to say, she was an all-conference player when she was at USC Upstate when they were members of the A-Sun. So it doesn't surprise me at all, but she is a excellent hitter. And you see her, this is a kind of a dunk double right here down the left field line. It wouldn't hit as hard as you would think a double would be hit, but it was hitting the right spot. And she was able to beat the throw to second base.
And when you've got Clark and Gilstrap, you know that probably you're going to have at least one runner on base for Valerie Cagle.
And you got to love that if you're a Valerie Cagle or a Marissa Gombarda, because that means RBI opportunities are coming because they're on base a lot.
Cagle did a little of everything on the Tuesday sweep of Winthrop. Fouls one straight back off the catcher. Heck of a cut at that.
I know that often this season that I've just gushed over Valerie Cagle, but it's very, very rare you see a more complete player as a freshman as this young person is. I mean, she's the number one pitcher on the staff. There's no debate about that, but she's also a very, very good hitter and a very good defender.
There she gets one through the hole, and they're going to wave Gilstrap. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Clemson takes a 1-0 lead, and Cagle, who does everything, drives in a run on her own behalf.
Love it when they make you look like you know what you're talking about. She just hits a ball right there between the 3-4 hole. Gilstrap scores easily from second base, and just like that, the Tigers are out in front, 1-0.
And Cagle's now tied for the team lead in runs batted in with this player, Marissa Gombarda, the right fielder, hitting .300.
And jumped out this season red hot. And she hit a little bit of a lull, but she's fighting her way out of it. And I know that they hope she gets red hot again for the stretch drive.
Now 0 for 5 against Winthrop. And as you said, Coach, this is a bat they really need to get going in the middle of this lineup as they sort of try to ramp up to the postseason. Loops one to second.
Get that off the end of the bat.
Good catch by Gyrie. That's the second out of the inning. Pretty good play out at second base.
You better believe it is. You know, it was a liner, but she was able to get right to it. I guess we're going to be safe saying Gyrie anytime the ball is hit on the right side today because the sisters are playing first and second.
Nicole at second, Kristen at first. Tapper. And past the mound, going to be a tough play, and a throw is wild. That'll put Cagle at third base. So Abby Stewart, first pitch swinging, puts it in play. And boy, if you're Boston College, you would have liked for Anderson to go ahead and field that one. Became a very difficult play for that right side.
Anderson didn't get down to cover the ball, and that extends the inning. And if you're the Boston College Eagles, the last thing you want to do on defense is give this Clemson ball club extra outs. You got to limit a team to 3 outs. You got to be sure you don't walk people. You got to play kind of clean defense if you're going to have any chance against this Clemson batting order.
And you see the meeting at the mound there as Cagle and John Rittman having a conversation over at third base. Here's Kai Keller, and that, to your point about Boston College, this is a team that's really struggled with errors. They had an errorless game in the first of the doubleheader against Syracuse. It was the first one in 14 games without one.
It is a huge value to a team if you have a pitcher that can field a position. Valerie Cagle is an excellent fielder. As a matter of fact, most times when she's not pitching, she's playing in the outfield for this Clemson ball club. But having athleticism in the circle defensively is a big plus for a team.
Runs one in on Keller's hands, a swing and a miss. Keller, a .283 batter. Driven in 10, couple of home runs.
I think both of the home runs, if I remember correctly, came back in the North Carolina series.
And she's come on strong of late. 1-1 pitch to Kai Keller. A little bit late, 1-2. And there's that North Carolina series, and you're right, Coach. 2 home runs, 5 driven in. She was outstanding in that sweep the Tigers gave the Tar Heels.
That's a pretty good month right there in one weekend.
Runners at the corners now for Clemson, up a run. Grounded to third. Throw from Martinez across, and the side is retired, but the Tigers get a run on 3 hits. Valerie Cagle gives herself a 1-0 lead. Tigers up a run, and Boston College is going to try to get it back. Amy Cavillhawk certainly hopes they can do that. Second season coach. Last year barely counts. So they didn't even get really to the halfway point. She did a very good job at St. John's. She led them to the NCAA tournament for their only time in 35 years, the first time that they had done it. So she's got a track record of building programs.
Yes, and she is just now trying to get her footing here, laying a foundation with the Boston College team. And she has great credentials. You know, you keep a job 12 years, Division I, the same place, you must be doing something right. And I know she's just looking to, like we talked about earlier, just trying to build some momentum for the future of the program.
You kept a job 12 years at Division I times about 3, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I was very fortunate.
Cagle down in the count. Gyrie takes in tight ball 2. This is sort of what you talked about with Cagle. She might miss early, but you better get her the first time through the order.
You better get her before the 4th inning usually. She usually has the resiliency to bounce back, too. The one thing she doesn't do, she usually doesn't let one walk lead to 2 or one hit lead to 2. She's very resilient.
Well, you look at Cagle's numbers, you know, there are some people that are just dominant and they go 3 up, 3 down all the time. She allows just a little less than a base runner an inning. She's very good at pitching with runners on base.
Oh, it doesn't bother her at all.
Gilstrap, a good play ranging to her left to throw the batter out. Nice play to get Kristen Gyrie. There's a look at Valerie Cagle again. You see the top pitchers in the conference, and when you put yourself on this list, you're doing something right. No, by the way, Clemson's got 2 members of the fraternity and maybe the top 5 pitchers in the league.
Yes, but if you look particularly at that top 4, Cagle, Rochard, and the players from Duke and Florida State, those pitchers can pitch with and for anybody. They are outstanding.
Strong league at the top in pitching. Gianna Randazza squares to bunt. She's going to pull back and take a strike. Boy, Cagle pops the mitt there, and she's way ahead.
Yeah, that one came in there over 70 miles an hour, I believe.
Randazza batting 188. 6 hits and 32 at-bats. Found her way into the lineup in right, and she swings right through one.
She went off speed that time, William. That was a nice pitch. Almost unfair. If you're going to throw it, run it up there at 70, and you're going to throw a changeup, that's just not fair.
It's not just the velocity either, it's the placement.
Oh, yes.
I mean, that was perfect.
Absolutely. Location, location, location.
Now DJ Valido.
To give you a frame of excuse me, I'm sorry about that,
you're
buddy.
good.
But to give you a frame of reference, 70 miles an hour in a fast pitch softball game, that's a 100-mile-an-hour pitch in baseball. That's how hard she's throwing.
And she went off speed there, and Valido way out in front. And to your point, if you're gearing up for, let's say, 100.
Yep. And then you see a changeup, it makes your knees weak.
Forget about it.
Yeah. Everything becomes fluid in your legs. There's no bones. You liquidate.
Swing and a miss. She blows it by again, and a quick 1-2-3 inning. Couple of strikeouts for Cagle in the top of the second. Here's a look at one of them. Blows it right by, down, out of the zone, and the Tigers coming to bat with a 1-run lead. Tigers up a run here as we head to the bottom of the second, and that guy, happy camper, at least for the moment, John Rittman, who has done the English language really doesn't have a word for the job that you do when you take a program in its first full season and go 28-4 to start.
It's remarkable in the modern era of softball. He's just done a great job, but this doesn't surprise me. I've known Coach Rittman many years, good friend, And I am not surprised that he's doing good work, but I am surprised at the pace that this Clemson program has throttled up. You know, but old Johnny Ballgame, he is an excellent coach. I mean, I am told with 3 wins that he'll join the 800 club.
That is correct. 797 coming into the game today after a storied career. Here's a Leah Logaleo. She tries to lay down a bunt and fouls it.
You better not win a bunch of them. Make me have to go back into coaching.
Would that be just the push you need?
Oh, well, no. When I say I have to, I mean it would be a chore. I don't. I did 27 as a head coach. I'm good.
You're good to let that body of work stand at this point?
Yeah. We're going to hold.
0-2. Swinging a tip into the mitt, and there you see the good side of Anderson as she struck out 79 and 111 2/3 coming in. She's really a pitch-to-contact pitcher, but that's a punch-out pitch.
And that's a great pitch, too, on the outside part of the plate, and Logaleo chased it.
Well, Grace Matamore in the 8th spot, 262.
Yeah, she was injured early in the year. She's been trying to play her way into shape and get everything going offensively. And she also is one of those players that if she gets going for the stretch drive, that'd be a big boost for Coach Rittman and the Tigers.
Now, you love hitters in the bottom part of your order that put the ball in play. 9 walks to 5 strikeouts. He's also been hit 3 times by pitches.
Yeah. Tell you what, those hit by pitches, that's a tough way to make a living.
Yes, it is. Foul ball there.
But they really have a lot of good players up and down the order here at Clemson, and it's the balance is a huge asset for them. And because you can just go back and look through the season, it's been a different hero practically every weekend.
Matamore takes down and in. Ball 2.
The important thing for the middle and the bottom of the batting order is the better they play, the better pitches that Clark and Gilstrap and Cagle and Gumbarter are going to see. So, you know, they anything they can do will really help that top half.
Ground ball, just foul. Home plate umpire made the call. You know, to your point about that, it's interesting. If you look at the inning-by-inning tallies, you can see this Clemson lineup when they do well. It's in the first, third, and fifth innings primarily. They've outscored their opponents 33-4 in the first inning, 43-10 in the third inning, and 39-6 in the fifth inning. And that says to me, okay, the top 2/3 of your lineup's going well. That bottom third not quite as consistent there.
Yeah, they've got to get a little bit more consistent production from, let's say, the 5-hole down.
Tigers got that early run. They are a perfect 16-0 this season when they strike first. Full count to Matamore. Anderson looking for an out pitch, and Grace Matamore hangs around.
Just saw John Rippon make a very veteran move. He made no offer at that ball as it rolled by him. Because Johnny Ballgame's been out there many a time, and he knows that nothing good happens to a coach when they stick a bare hand or something out to stop a ground ball.
So he's in energy conservation mode.
Yes, that is a very good way of describing it.
Ground ball, second to first. The sister combination of Nicole and Kristen Gyree.
Yes.
The second out. Out to the lefty, Cami Pereira, the senior, out at second base.
Now the younger Gyree is playing second base. The older sister plays first base.
So what you're saying is the throws better be all really good.
Oh, yeah.
Or she's going to hear about it.
Yeah, because big sisters don't want to have to be digging and jumping and stuff like that.
Pereira looking to slap and get aboard. Anderson's only given up 92 hits and 113 in the third inning so far.
She is a quality Division I pitcher. There's no doubt about it. She needs some help.
Well, and if you look at some of the numbers in her outings, she has really been victimized by errors. You can see that. She's given up 12 unearned runs this season. And by the fact that the offense hasn't really provided, particularly against your Friday starters, the type of jolt that you need to win these games.
It's very difficult. It's very, very difficult for a pitcher to go out there knowing that if I give up 3 runs or if I give up 2 runs, we're maybe in a mess because of the offense not being consistent. One of the things that really helps a pitcher like Cagle is her offense scores runs.
That's right.
And you get to pitch a lot freer. You don't feel like you're walking on a razor blade.
Pereira makes contact, 1-2. It's also, I know we're going to say a lot of flattering things about Valerie Cagle, as you see back to the top of the order. You can see over Pereira's shoulder. I mean, when you got Clark and Gilstrap and then you get to hit for yourself behind them, then that gives you some confidence too. I can get it back myself if I give one up. 1-2 off speed and a good take there on a nice pitch by Pereira.
And not only that, she's good enough to hit in that 3-hole.
That's right.
And that is just so. That's one of the things that impresses me about her is her completeness.
Two pitch coming from Anderson. Another foul by Pereira. She's working it.
Pereira is one of the unsung heroes on the Clemson Ball Club. She's a very stabilizing force in the infield out at second base. I remember when she missed several games earlier in the year, and that was actually a gap. I mean, a problem for Coach Rittman and them to navigate while she was out.
Tried to come in and missed. Pereira has only walked once this season, but she's worked the count full really well.
Yep, and she out of the state of North Carolina, I believe. You must not be able to walk out of North Carolina. You got to hit your way out of there.
That's right. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air, down the left field line. Foul out of play.
Nice job trying to get after that ball by the left fielder, the Violet, but the ball just kept tailing away and ended up out of play.
Pereira from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Pretty good mixture on this Clemson roster. You got 5 South Carolina natives, 9 Georgia, 4 North Carolina, 3 Virginia. Ball's hit high in the air, back to left center field, a long run, and caught on the move. What a catch by the freshman LaViolette.
You will not see a better play than that all weekend. She did a great job of robbing Pereira of a triple.
Well, the ACC well represented in the top 25, 4 teams in there. And certainly, boy, the matchup that we didn't get to see because it's not on the schedule, the Florida State-Clemson matchup, I know folks would really love to see that one in a postseason setting. Virginia Tech, Duke also in that top 25.
Yeah, and you know what's in common with all 4 of those teams right there? They all 4 have a dominant pitcher at the top of their rotation.
And we're seeing Clemson's dominant pitcher right now, 6 up and 6 down for Boston College, and Gianna Bacano takes inside for ball 1. Bacano, a very good defensive catcher. You see her out of Coral Springs there with a little pop in her bat as well with 3 home runs.
She's showing a good eye early in this at-bat. She has a very good throwing arm. She's threw a lot of base runners out this year.
Yeah, we're going to see that, I think, before the night is over. She's thrown out 13 of 27 base stealers from behind the plate.
That's pretty good in today's game. Now she sits there at 3-0, and the last thing you want to do is take a 167 hitter and get behind 3-0.
Cagle just 27 walks and 124 2/3 innings, and there's a strike.
She was taken all the way. At least she better been. 3-0 count.
That's spoken like a coach with a plan right there.
I didn't flash signals. I just yelled in there, do not swing.
There's a swing. What's your I know everybody has a 3-1 philosophy that's a little different. What's your philosophy on 3-1?
That if it's in a sweet spot, you go get it.
One spot?
Yep. Now you got to open it up and try to do something with it.
And she could not.
Came all the way back, and then she just the last 3 pitches that got her, it was the firm stuff. It just bang, bang, bang.
Like good location again down on the way.
You've got an opportunity to do a little bit of business with the bottom half of this Boston College lineup, and you can also conserve pitches and go right at them. I mean, until they show you they're going to hit you, challenge them.
Ground ball to third. Logaleo, easy throw, 2 out. And now we see the left fielder that made the fine catch out in left field in the last half inning, Elizabeth LaViolette, who has been really a defensive player. She played in 18 games but didn't get a start until last Saturday against Syracuse. She was 2 for 7 with 4 runs scored.
If she keeps playing left field like she's doing tonight, she's going to play a lot more. She's hitting 286, but there again, only 7 at bats. So as you were saying, William, she's just now getting an opportunity.
Shows a lot of confidence to put her back out there. She's from a competitive family. Her father, Peter, has coached in the NHL for a long time and is currently the head coach of the Washington Capitals.
There you go.
Some competitive blood runs through those veins, I would think.
Yes. Those hockey players are tough guys.
Foul down to third base.
You're right about that. I'm not scared of them, but
you're a little taller than I am, though.
Yeah, but I don't live near any of them. I don't know any of them. That's why I'm not scared of them.
So you're working off theory, right?
Yeah.
Rumor?
No, I'm sure if I live close to one, he could beat the daylights out of me. They're tough men, but I'm just saying I'm not scared of them because I'm not around them.
1-2 the count. I like the way your mind works on that.
I'm a tremendous coward.
Fly ball to center field. And we'll take that to break. Another 1-2-3 inning for Cagle in the circle. Back to the top of the order for Clemson, a 1-0 lead. Here in the bottom of the third, William Quaggamush, Scott Whitlock with you. A few clouds in the sky, but a gorgeous day. I mean, it feels really nice out here at McWhorter Stadium. And the fans have enjoyed an early run and some good pitching from Valerie Cagle thus far.
Yes, and it has been a beautiful day here in the Clemson area. And now we get to see one of the better freshmen in the country step in, Mackenzie Clark.
Clark, the center fielder. Squares to bunt. That's a beauty. That's going to be a tough play, and they're not going to get her.
No, just put it in your pocket. She executed perfectly. And now we're going to get to see something we've been wanting to see. Look, you right here. She got the ball down, and she just outran Anderson. She got the first before Anderson got in to make a play. And right now we're going to see a great matchup because we're going to see one of the conference's best catchers go against one of the best base stealers in the conference.
We mentioned Bacano, 13 of 27 base stealers she's thrown out. Last week against Syracuse, she would just throw behind runners just because. I think just to showcase that she could. There's a strike called against Gilstrap. I think Gilstrap would probably prefer to just go ahead and put it in play and get a base hit so they don't have to steal second base.
Yeah, hit a double and just be done with it. But I got a feeling you're going to see Clark going on this pitch right here. Just a feeling.
Corners in for Boston College defensively, looking to turn a double play in the middle. A little bit high, runner not going.
That's just like John Rittman, not the runner to make me look bad.
So it's personal.
Yeah, very. So.
1-1 pitch from Anderson. Squared a bunt, and it gets away, and that's an easy extra base for Clark. She's not going to dilly-dally around. If that ball gets muffed even for a moment behind the plate, she's out like a cannon.
Yeah, she bluffed going and stopped, and then when the ball got away, she was able to just jog on in there. You see the catcher. I think the catcher there got caught up in trying to throw the runner out and lost the handle on the ball. But now they got a runner out there in scoring position with nobody out.
Grounded to third. Throw back to second, and Clark is out.
And she was froze. If you're not going to go, get back to the bag. I mean, that's just a rule of thumb right there. That is the last thing you want to do is make the first out of an inning going back to second base. Fine play by Boston College. They did a great job. Tell you what, that's pretty close out there.
She might have gotten in ahead of the tag. I'd love to look at that again. Clemson not going to challenge at all. Ground ball from Cagle, the right side. Only play will be to first. 2 outs. And, of course, there's no review in softball, but you just love to see a few more angles of that.
Yeah, that was interesting. I mean, the ball might have got there early, but the hand might have beat the glove. But it really doesn't matter, our opinion, and don't really count for anything.
That's right. Here's Gombarda. The runner at second. Gilstrap, another good base runner. She's stolen 12 of 13 on the season.
I wouldn't expect her to be going here because the theory is she can score on a single with 2 outs.
I would imagine so. Ball gets through the wickets and down to third.
Yeah, now ball getting by the catcher, now it's a whole different kettle of fish.
And Gilstrap, again with at 12 for 13, she's among the leaders, and you see the career stolen base leaders among active players. She's sitting in third.
Yeah, she's over 100. She's at 111 for a career. That's pretty good. I mean, that's rare air right there. And you're almost averaging 30 a season, and the season's not even over with this year.
Anderson behind 3-0 to Gombarda. There's a shot through the middle, and it's 2-0 Clemson.
Good job by Gombarda, not trying to do too much with that. Hits it right back where it comes from. Gilstrap's able to just jog in, and just like that now, the Tigers are creating a little separation. 2-0 here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
This is that middle of the lineup, too, and it also is a reflection of what we talked about. Clemson in the first, third, and fifth starts to pull away from teams.
Yep, and that's a big run. You know, you want to get the lead, then you want to get a 2-run lead where, you know, and then the next thing you want to do is get into a position where a grand slam don't beat you, and then you want to try to, you know, separate and get that 8-run lead and get out of town. As a head coach, you kind of play the game that way, or at least I did.
Seems like an effective strategy. There's Stewart, a little looper, and that's going to fall down in left center field. I was just going to say, too, you know, Gombarda was ahead 3-0. You kind of had half a mind to think maybe Anderson's trying to pitch around her some, but then you look, Stewart's behind her. You really can't do that, and Stewart shows you why right there.
Yep, and that brings Keller to the plate, and Keller could do something very special right here. Anything in the gap could possibly score 2 runs, and of course a big fly would score 3.
And she's capable of either one of those. No question. Anderson got to bear down here. There's a liner past second. Rittman winding the runner. The throw to the plate. Offline. Gets by. Second runner coming in. Sliding safely. And it's a 4-0 Clemson lead with some aggressive base running by the Tigers.
Yeah, that's probably going to go as a single and 1 RBI with the trail runner scoring on the error. I don't know who they'll charge the error to. We're watching now again. That ball just got by the catcher. The catcher received a friendly big hop from the right fielder, which is what you teach him to do. And the ball got by, and the second run scored.
And we'll see how they score that, but I think you're probably right. Now Logaleo's at the plate. And Keller's sitting at second base after Gombarda and Stewart both cross.
I know this was the last thing that Boston College wanted to have happen. Is Clemson jump out early and be 4 runs ahead, because now you've given Cagle lots of comfort.
Yes, certainly the storm clouds are brewing for Boston College here because they're not out of the woods yet. Logaleo with an opportunity here. She's at 261 with runners in scoring position.
And she's battled through injuries all year. She's a tough, resilient player.
Ground ball hit sharply to short. Good play there and a strong throw across by Valito. Tigers get 3 and lead it by 4 as we head to the 4th. Clemson a 4-0 lead as we head to the 4th. They've currently won 8 in a row, and that's not their longest win streak of the year. They won 17 in a row just a few weeks ago. Duke ended it, as you see there at the bottom, but that is some awfully good play. To sweep 5 series, hit over 300, and outscore opponents by about 80 runs, you got to be doing a lot of things right.
You better believe it. I was here the night that Duke snapped their 17-game streak, which pushed Duke to a 19-game streak that was snapped by Clemson the next day.
That was a great series.
Yes, it was.
It really was a great series.
And I would honestly have to say that is, what, as you see right there, a nice play by the third baseman to get a very, very speedy Matea.
That's worth another look on the slap.
You see there, she beats it in the ground. And just a great job of holding the base by Keller. It was really bang, bang. It was really bang, bang over there, but our vote, nobody's vote really matters except that guy over there at first base in the blue shirt.
Leah Logaleo not mad about it.
No.
And neither is Valerie Cagle. She's thrown 8 consecutive no-hit innings dating back to Tuesday. And she's ahead now 0-2. Good fastball right on the outside corner.
Yes, it was. Had a little pepper on that one.
Amy Martinez, a senior, veteran presence in the lineup for BC. Swing and a miss.
Had a little floaty rise ball that just went up, went right by her. Now you see me, now you don't.
5 strikeouts for Cagle. That's worth another look.
And Martinez going, that ball was not supposed to be up there. It was supposed to be down here where I swung.
Quickly 2 out here in the top of the 4th. And a foul ball off the bat of Nicole Gyrie. Here's the freshman, the younger version.
Yeah. I wonder how her sister Kristen feels about her kid sister hitting ahead of her.
I feel like maybe there's some dinner table conversations.
Well, it's 3-hole, 4-hole. I mean, it's potato, but I'd still gripe about it.
You know, I've got 3 younger siblings, so I'm the oldest sibling. And the way I would say it is, you know what, they just needed me to drive you in because they knew that you couldn't drive me in.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it too. Good call, William.
Big swing and a miss there.
That rise ball again, that one really jumped. When you've got that good hard drop ball working, and you got your changeup working, and you got your rise ball working, you get what we're seeing right now from Cagle, and that is a mismatch.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 6 for Valerie Cagle through 4 hitless innings. And how much BC can do with that? We'll be back in a moment. You can see that box score, Clemson a 4-0 lead, and it's really been domination for the Tigers so far. They got a run in the first, 3 in the third, and Coach looking to open up a little bit more with that 8-9-1 in the order, see if that bottom of the order can help out a little bit.
Again, the more they do, the better pitches the top half gets. We've seen what the top half can do. The top half has produced 4 runs. You know, if the bottom half can really get their bats going with some consistency, that's going to make the top half that much more dangerous.
Here's Grace Mattamore. Grounded out to second, her first time up. Anderson ahead of her now, 0-1.
Got Mattamore, Pereira, and Clark for Anderson here in this inning.
That's foul. That's going to be a souvenir. Oh, Fan had a chance at a great play.
I don't know if we have this on film, but the scouting report on that young fielder right there is not going to be good.
Oh, man. Oh, I hope his parents aren't watching.
Jeez. Oh, man.
It was right there.
Oh, he did everything but make the play. Oh, that's so disappointing.
I know.
Dad won't be able to go to the country club tomorrow.
Correct. 1-2 the count now on
now
Mattamore.
Look at him. Yeah, I could have caught it. Yeah, I should have. Yeah. I didn't want to catch it, really.
Hey, look. I've said a lot of stuff, but I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
Too.
There's a ground ball up the middle for a hit. Mattamore starts things off with a single.
Mattamore does a great job of driving that ball in the 5-6 hole. And now I think you're going to probably see Carly Shannon come in and run for her.
And that is exactly what's happening. And now we get to see Carly Shannon run the bases, which is a real treat. Native of Chester, South Carolina.
You know, being a first base coach has gotten to be a lot more difficult now that they've invented the base running glove. Because he has to be sure he has them out there with him, and he's able to supply one quick and rapid. You can see right there, he's already given Shannon hers, and now he's got another one in reserve.
Now, what happens when the bases are loaded? Does somebody throw you a third one out?
I would suppose they probably have more. I'm not going to speculate on the inventory of the equipment room here at Clemson, but I'll bet you they have another one.
I bet there's a spare somewhere. I bet they can figure it out. Pereira looking to slap, takes ball 1. Again, with a slapper at the plate, you just got really a number of things that you could do here to try to get some action on the bases.
Yep, and I'd really love a productive out right here would be for Pereira to move that runner to second base.
She tried with a bunt and missed it.
See, a 5-run lead is just so key in a softball game because a grand slam can't beat you. You know, and then when you get to 5, then all you're really thinking about then is 8.
That's right.
Go home.
That's a good point. Anderson looking for a good pitch here, and Pereira swings and fouls that one.
Yeah. Anderson's way ahead.
We talked about her ability to battle.
Yep.
She's got a 2.26 ERA and somebody that is able to pitch around runners on base quite a bit.
Yeah, she is a good Division I pitcher, and her job has been very tough this year. As you alluded to, pitching around errors and a lot of run production, everything. So, you know, you don't really want to throw too many stones at Susanna Anderson. She has pitched very well for this Boston College team this season.
Pereira hit the fly out to left field. I mean, she was robbed of a hit by LaViolette back in the second inning. Pitch just missed off the plate.
And it didn't miss by much. That was a nice 1-2 pitch right there.
And that's one where Shannon's ability to run and the threat, maybe if the catcher holds that spot, you might get the call, but instead she's got to pop up.
You may see her crank up right here.
Inside, runners going, throw down, not in time. Shannon went right through the second baseman, Gyrie, there.
Yep. And if you notice, the umpire did call obstruction on the defender. You see that arm go out? That's obstruction. She would have been granted the base even if she had not beaten it. But that goes to the stolen base for Shannon.
Shannon stole 3 bases in the 2 games against Winthrop, and now Shannon's caught between second and third. They got her in a rundown. And did she avoid? And now there's nobody at first, trying to go to second, and out at second base. So in all that madness, Boston College retires both base runners after a fielder's choice, really, that should have been one easy out.
This is your basic 1 to 5. to 8 to 4. Double play.
Good luck explaining that one to somebody that wasn't at the ballpark.
Got to have an abacus to keep up with that one. All I know is that was poor base running by the Tigers.
It really was. And you know what? Some good defense by BC, starting with Anderson.
Yep.
To calmly check the runner between second and third.
And she did the right thing. She moved right at her to freeze her. She gave the ball up at plenty of time to the third baseman to run her back to the base from where she came, and they executed. Very well done by the Eagles.
Mackenzie Clark back at the top of the order, and Anderson with a little shot in the arm falls behind 2-0.
You got to remember, there was nobody out.
That's right.
I mean, this thing was about to get really interesting, as if it didn't already.
4-0 lead.
Now instead of having possibly 2 runners on or 1 runner on third and 1 out, you've got 2 outs and nobody on. And that's the best way to face Mackenzie Clark, by the way. 2 outs and nobody on.
Yes, no doubt. Still in the hitter's count. Took one on the outside corner there. Anderson deals outside, is 3-1.
And they do look like they work her away heavily. But I've seen Clark hit a lot of balls to right center field this year.
Well, she does have that combination of speed and power, so you'd probably rather her hit a single than a home run. I guess it's a calculation there. See what Anderson does here on 3-1. She came in and jammed her. Popped up, and Anderson makes the play. We're through 4. Tigers lead 4-0. BC with some work to do after this. Well, Valerie Cagle through 4 innings has been simply outstanding.
She's got 6 strikeouts in 4 innings. And when you're striking it out 1.5 an inning, you're doing pretty good. That's a good ratio.
And she's done it all over the zone, out of the zone, getting swings and misses on various pitches, and BC just has not caught up to her yet at all.
And she's shown the changeup, I think, maybe once or twice the entire game, but she really hadn't needed it because her up and down stuff has been so good.
First baseman, number 5, Kristen Gyrie.
Now Kristen Gyrie starting things off. There's a shot down the right field line, but foul. She tried to catch up to her.
And you see, that ball was hit like a big sister. That ball was hit the way a big sister would hit a ball. It was hit firmly. And I hope that baby sister was looking at that and learned, that's why they got them like that.
All right, Casey Bigham is now at third base for the Tigers as John Rittman makes a defensive change. Logaleo moves to left field. There you see her. And Mattamore now out of the game for the time being. Tapper foul. Mattamore, of course, was replaced by Carly Shannon as a pinch runner in the last half inning.
And Bigham is the everyday third baseman for the Tigers, or has been the everyday third baseman, transferring in here from Furman. She's been a big plus for the Tigers, particularly while Mattamore was injured early in the year.
2-2 count here to Guyrie, the leadoff hitter in the inning. Strike 3 called, and she knew it.
And that froze her. You watch right here. That was like, oops, a daisy. Check, please.
That ball came all the way across the strike zone.
It swept back. That ball tailed in on her, and it just wonderful pitch.
Ground ball up the middle, and that's the first hit Valerie Cagle has allowed in 9 1/3 innings pitched.
Yep. And thank goodness it wasn't a cheap one. Thank goodness it wasn't like a bunt or a flare or something like that. It was a great job of driving that ball right back up the middle by Randazza.
So now for the first time today, we'll see Valerie Cagle have to pitch with somebody on base. Here's a shortstop. DJ Valito takes a strike.
Cagle has not really shown that she stresses a lot when there's a runner on base. She's done a very good job over the course of the year, but there's no pitcher in the game that is as comfortable with pitching with bases as comfortable than when there's nobody on. So it's got to create some type of stress or distraction. But Cagle has shown no signs of it really being a big problem for her this year.
2-1 the count now, and even if it doesn't change anything mechanically for you, it at least gets you thinking about more stuff.
Yes. Yeah. But she has done a really good job of remembering the main thing is the main thing, and for her, the main thing is the hitter.
Keller fields and goes to the bag at first, so she'll get the easy out, and there are 2 away in the inning.
That's the smart play in the 5th inning, get the outs. As we sit here right now, Boston College is down to 10 outs to score 5 runs. So right now it's about getting rid of outs now. This game is all about the team. Orange.
Canio, the catcher, squares to bunt. See if she follows through. The corner's unconvinced, and she does.
That's a timing device that some players use. Some players think that helps them time the pitch better if they start squared. So you don't have any thoughts of bunting, I would not think.
No. Especially with 2 outs. Time called now.
Yep.
Opportunity now for Boston College. First time they got a base runner, now first at bat with the runner in scoring position today. And she lines one to left center field for a hit, and they're going to wave the runner home. No, they're not. She threw that stop sign up, and for good reason. Yeah, that was a quick stop sign thrown up there as the runner hit third base because they know what's waiting out at center field.
Yes, and that ball was hit with authority. But Clark, with a great arm, saved a run right there. Third base coach showing great respect. And she threw a ball just right on the beam to Hyatt. You're going to see time called now. I believe that's the pitching coach made his way out there. Kyle
Jamison.
Jamison. I almost called him Kyle Dunham. That's another guy I know. But Kyle Jamison went out there just to kind of reset everybody. You'd hope right now they're also talking about what they'll do with this 1st and 3rd situation. If I were the Tigers right now, it'd be more important for me to get the 3rd out of the inning than it would be 1 run.
I was going to ask you, because of what you just said about letting the math work in terms of the number of outs remaining.
Absolutely.
It doesn't really matter whether that runner's at 1st or 2nd as long as you get the batter out.
Correct. And it also I would rather give up 1 run and get the 3rd out in the 5th than to have runners on 2nd, 3rd all of a sudden, and a lot of things go crazy then. You don't want them to cut the lead in half here.
Pitch on the inside corner there.
Very nice pitch. I imagine that pitch had a little bit of extra oomph on it. Cagle, I think, might be kicking herself a little bit out there. You wouldn't know it. Very stoic right there in that look.
Jenna Ergel, an on-base candidate. She's only hitting 176, but she's walked 11 times on the season. 9 hits and 11 walks, so you know that she is not going to give you anything. The ball's not thrown over the plate.
No.
There's a foul ball, 1-2.
Now Cagle's way ahead in this at bat. She can do lots of things. She can try to bury that drop ball on them right now, or she could work them up. She's got a lot of different options here.
Runners on the corners for the Eagles, down 4-0 here in the top of the 5th, and an opening game of a 4-game set here at McWhorter Stadium. Check swing, did she go? Yes, says the first base umpire. And that's how Valerie Cagle gets out of a jam with runners on the corners and 2 out. Check swing, not in time. And the Tigers keep BC off the scoreboard in the 5th. Tigers have scored 4 runs in this game. They've all been on seeing eye singles, Coach.
Yep, there's Cagle scoring Gilstrap. There's Gombarda scoring Gilstrap. And then here's Keller chasing 2 runs in, 1 RBI. And we're going to see Gombarda with the nifty slide. And there you are.
And Tigers offensively, you see it, 8 hits, just 2 strikeouts. They've only left 3 runners, and they've been good with runners on base.
Yeah.
3 hits and 7 at-bats.
They have been very opportunistic.
New pitcher for Boston College. The Eagles have changed up arms. They're going to go with a righty, C.C. Cook, senior out of Phoenix, Arizona, 5 feet 7 inches.
Only 1-9 on the season with a 3.95 ERA. I hope there's nothing wrong with Johnson. They may have just elected to save her because they've got 3 more games here while they're in town. And it could be very well be that, 4 runs is a lot for them.
Well, and you got to think she didn't pitch that poorly.
No.
There's a changeup strike at the knees on Gilstrap, 1-1.
3 out of the 4 were earned. So
Cook, 51 1/3 innings, 58 hits, 29 walks allowed, only 32 strikeouts. So she's not somebody that's going to blow you away in the zone. She'll pitch to contact or she'll walk batters. And there's a good location in the zone. It's 1-2.
That was a nice pitch, actually. She's a veteran. She's a senior, and she's got innings worked. But, as we were talking about earlier, Anderson's worked 111 innings, and Cook has worked only 51. So that's double.
Swing and a miss by Gilstrap. And at least for the moment, the pitching change works, as that's a rare punch out for the Tigers offensively today.
Yeah. And she just throws it by her. And that's Cook showed a little presence out there on the mound. As soon as strike 3 went by, she snatched that glove off and took a walk like she meant to do it.
She's got to face Valerie Cagle here. It's interesting that they go to Cook here because you would think, given the numbers, that Anderson and Cook might be your 2 starters. You might oscillate this weekend. But in the first game of the doubleheader Saturday against Syracuse, Peyton Schnackenberg was a player that started in the circle for the Eagles. And so you wonder if that might not be the choice tomorrow to kind of team up with Anderson and Cook on to spell both of them.
Well, out of fairness to Boston College, we have to remember they are in the middle of a rebuild. We got a new coach in town that's trying to lay a foundation, so they're still looking and testing the waters.
Cagle, a ground ball to second. The sisters converge for out number 2.
Now there you are. That brings up Gombarda, and it was very significant that she had an RBI single in this game because that's what they're going to need from her as we enter this last third of the season.
And she's driven in a couple here today. Pitch upstairs, ball 1. Just a 1 RBI scoreboard, telling stories.
Isn't this a beautiful layout for a ballpark?
Oh, man. It's great. It's always great to be here.
Yep.
And when we're allowed to have full capacity, it's going to be even better. Got a little taste last year of what it might feel like. Can you imagine? Now, this team's 28-4. They salt this one away. Still a long way to go, but they salt this one away. You go 29-4. You're talking about a team that's poised to make the NCAA tournament. Can you imagine next season, coming off an NCAA tournament appearance, how electric this place is going to be?
Oh, yeah. Well, I can tell you from a year ago, I've been around this game for almost 40 years, but I was here working last year when Georgia came to visit, and this place was spilling over, and it was rocking. Great atmosphere. I mean, a great atmosphere. And the Tigers won that night, so I'm sure most people left here happy.
That's correct. Gombarda's way ahead to count 3-0, and Cook had a conversation with Bacano. He's looking for a strike. Here it comes, and she takes a strike at the knees.
I guess that was old automatic right there. That 3-0 count strike. You can see if Gombarda gets one in her happy spot, she's going to mash this one.
She did, but foul.
Hit it hard, but foul.
Now 3-2, and Cook, after falling behind 3-0, she's 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 inning against the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in this Clemson lineup.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. Don't get a false sense of confidence, because Gombarda can turn it around on you in a hurry.
8 home runs on the season for Gombarda. 28 runs batted in. She just regained the lead over Cagle, and that ball is hammered. Coach, it might be a prophet.
Yep, you might say she found her happy spot. And there it went. Boy, that was a laser out of here. And maybe she'll take a deep breath now and change gears. That ball was hit very hard. You can't make a mistake. There's certain people in the lineup that you've got to respect at all times. And for the Tigers, Gombarda's one of those. And that ball stayed up and in the zone, and it left here in a hurry. And by the way, the wind is blowing in.
She did hit that against the wind.
Yes.
And that ball was mashed. Home run number 9 for Marissa Gombarda on the season. And now 29 RBIs to her credit. Here's Abby Stewart. The fun continues for the Tigers as Stewart, the freshman, up.
Yep. Stewart scored the 4th run of the game.
That's right. And she and Gombarda, she wasn't too far behind Gombarda after the ball got through the catcher.
No, she wasn't. But in fairness to Gombarda, she was giving it all she had. And she made a good slide in there and might have disrupted the catcher a little bit to allow Stewart to score.
One pitch from Cook. This is up and away, 2-1. These two teams tomorrow will battle a doubleheader on Saturdays, as has become customary in ACC play, if all things go according to plan with the weather. Ground ball to second, and that'll be that. But Tigers get a run with the big bomb from Gombarda and lead at 5-0. Well, since we brought it up, Clemson's potential NCAA tournament hopes, this is what we're going to be dealing with this year. The 16 sites predetermined this year, and then the 8 super regional locations within that, all going to be revealed May 16th.
64 teams make the tournament. You send 4 teams to 16 different regional sites, and then you'll have 16 teams advance to super regionals, and the final 8 will all show up for the World Series.
And it's an extensive list of criteria for the NCAA Tournament Selection Committee to consider. All of those factors are going to be weighed in equal parts, and it is going to be very interesting to see what things like RPI, what things like common opponents, based on the impact of COVID-19 on this season.
This is going to be the most interesting selection year that we've seen in a long time. You're going to see a lot of Power 5 teams profit from playing only conference-only schedules because their strength of schedule is going to be much higher than some. There's a little bit of an anomaly out there right now. The number one team ranked in the country is Oklahoma. But if you look at the RPI, they're down there at 13 because their schedule is not quite as stiff as some of the other people.
And if you talk to some Clemson fans, they may not have any reference points either.
Right.
This will be the first time they ever watched this.
And, oh, by the way, Oklahoma's 30-0.
Yes.
So they've got a pretty good resume.
Not too shabby. 1-2, a swing and a tip into the mid. And Cagle makes quick work of LaViolette down in the 9 spot.
I don't know what Kyle Jameson said when he visited the mound after the second hit an inning ago, but Cagle has put it back in a different gear.
Ellie Mattia, line shot right at the shortstop.
Yeah, that's when you yell from the dugout, that way to pop her up. That ball was hit like a laser, but right at Gilstrap, you see. And that doesn't surprise anybody that Mattia hit the ball very hard. I mean, she's the top hitter in their batting order, but she unfortunately hit it right at the shortstop.
Here's Emmy Martinez, and a strike on the outside edge from Cagle. Tigers have a new right fielder, too. Looking out there, Ariel Oda.
This is a move. This is a move that Richmond has made quite a bit this year. Late in the game, going with Oda for defensive purposes. I think Gombardi would tell you herself that she is a proponent of this decision.
There you see Oda in right. Two balls and a strike, the count to Emmy Martinez.
The one thing, William, I've noticed about Clemson is they're a very generous team. They just cheer and pull for each other so well, and they just punch and plug people in places that they need to for a situation, and everybody seems to be on board, and that is so important to a program. And trust me, it is not that easy.
Well, there could be, and I was actually thinking about this the other day. There could be some positives to having had nothing really to sell other than a vision of we're going to do this together. Nobody could come in with any preconceived notions or illusions of individual grandeur. As there's a walk of Martinez first of the game for Cagle, you're selling everyone on a collective vision that no one has seen.
That's true. That's very, very true. But the one thing that has really impressed me with Clemson, and they've handled the other side of the double edge on the sword very, very well. And what I'm talking about is expectations.
Yes.
I mean, when you are a first-year program and there is no base of knowledge to go from, and you jump out there 28-4, people expect this out of you. I mean, they're doing something that is very, very special and unique.
JoJo Hyatt gets the out, and we'll be back for more next. This is the last inning. The Tigers at bat, a 3-2 pitch. Marissa Gombardi just destroyed a softball.
Oh, it was just hit really, really hard. It was hit so hard and so quick, the couple out there in left center field didn't even have a chance to react to it before it went out and hit the highway.
Now you see Clemson a 23-0 record.
Yep.
When hitting a home run, and they are now also 36-0 all time when scoring at least 5 runs.
Yep.
So both of those records at stake today, and Kai Keller would like to maybe have something to do with the score not being 5-0 at the end of this.
Keller, who had a big hit early in this ball game, does a great job at first base, and she's also somebody who keeps everybody loose in the dugout. And every team needs somebody like that to you know, every once in a while a player start taking themselves or their trials and tribulations too seriously, and it can really affect the play. But they tell us that Keller does a great job of keeping the dugout loose as she hits a fly ball out to center.
And first out of the inning there, an easy play
by Matea. And it looks like we got a pinch hitter coming up. This is number 42, Morgan Johnson. She's out of Evans, Georgia, which is a suburb of Augusta. She had a big home run the other night against Winthrop, I believe.
She did.
We didn't work that game, but I did watch it.
She had the walk-off.
Yes.
We also got a new catcher in the game for the Eagles. And this is somebody that's been in the lineup for them on occasion. Is Maddie Carpy. Johnson, big swing and a miss. Johnson, 6'1". Somebody you're going to see in the lineup sooner rather than later on a consistent basis.
She was having a good fall of 2019, the start of the 2020 season when she tore her ACL. So this is really her first full year, and she's working her way back from that ACL, and she just hit one out of the ballpark.
Goodbye. Unbelievable. Johnson does it again. And the Tigers' lead is 6-0.
I tell you what, we were just talking about her potential and what she can do, and she took this pitch and drove it right out of right center field, and there was no doubt about it. At contact, right there, I knew the ball was gone. And she drove it right into the teeth of that wind, right over the tee, and Tigers out there in right center field.
And I know this is a baseball thing, but it's nice on a week where in the sport of baseball, honoring Jackie Robinson, that somebody hits a home run wearing 42.
Yeah, there you go.
Johnson goes yard, and now Bigham's at the plate for the first time. And a 224 Bigham.
And as we talked about, she's a transfer in here. Done a good job.
Ground ball, good play on the backhand, throw across.
That was a nice play.
Martinez, the good glove, and then the strong throw off her back foot to get Bigham running.
Showed a little backhand action there.
Worth another look.
That is athletic right there. And what she had the presence of mind, as you said, to plant her feet and make a good firm throw over there. Outstanding job.
Pereira squares to bunt and pulls it back. Takes ball one. Tigers a 6-0 lead now, as Cook faces Pereira, the number 9 batter. There's a strike.
Cook has pitched pretty well since she's come in, but both times that she's made a major mistake has left the ballpark.
She's given up 10 home runs now on the season. It's been a bit of an issue. Whereas Anderson really has given up hits, but a lot of singles, more weak contact.
Correct.
Cook's been more the hard contact variety. And once again, to the point you made about Gombarda's home run, the wind is blowing in. So Johnson hit that out into the breeze.
Right into it.
That's a line drive that's going to hang up and be caught by Matea. And the inning is over. To the 7th we go. Tigers up 6-0, 3 outs away from a series opening win. Well, in the open of our broadcast today, we talked about both teams coming down the stretch of their season. You see how close it is for Clemson. The one game after this series at South Carolina, then a couple of ACC series against middle-of-the-pack teams in the league, and that's it. Then you're ready for postseason, and it's time to start building that resume.
And again, right now there are, not counting this game, There's 11 conference games left for Clemson to navigate. And they need to pick a target and keep racking up wins, and they should be just fine. If you're Boston College, on the other hand, you want to just use every opportunity that you have for the remainder of this year as a chance to improve. Try to leave 2021 with as good a feeling as you possibly can, knowing the future's ahead.
That's a good way to do it right there, as Gyrou, an airmail throw there. Yeah. As Oda, she got a bit of a wild hair trying to go to first to get the force.
Yeah, she kind of pitched a fit out there, didn't she? She let go of that ball. It went all the way to Hyatt back there at the plate.
Kristen Gyrou gets the base hit there.
Looks good like we got a – what do we got going on here? Is it a pinch runner or we got a pinch hit? Got a pinch runner coming in.
Yes.
Abigail Knight.
Now, it looks like it's going to be –
No, it's not Abigail Knight. It's number 80.
Let's see now.
That's Erica Andal.
Yes, it is.
Excuse me, I didn't see the 0. It's number 80, not number 8.
A freshman from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Gianna Randazzo stands at the plate now. She's got another one of the 3 hits today. And a strike called on the outside edge.
And what you want to do here if you're Boston College is just play your game. Try to make something positive happen. You're not going to play for 1 run. But you still want to be positive in what you do. Like, there's a nice job.
Can they turn it? Not quite.
Great stretch by Keller that time at first base to make it a lot closer. And you saw Pereira and Gilstrap turn that thing. That is not easy to do. That ball's hit sharply, but Pereira's going away from the ball. Gilstrap does a good job of holding the bag and just wasn't quite close, quick enough to get the runner going down there.
About a half a step.
Yep, she was safe.
And I believe we're going to see a pinch hitter here.
Yep, let's see. Number 14's coming in. That's Jules Trevino. Pardon me.
Grad student from Cypress, Texas. A 174 batter, another one of those. A little bit of a small sample size, but 5 walks. So the on base at 345. Ground ball to third, second for 1 to first, not in time.
Bigham had no chance of turning a double play there. The ball was a slow roller. Did a good job getting the lead runner, feeding Pereira. And the Eagles are down to their last out.
Are they going to pinch hit again? Oh, no, they're not. It's Maddie Carpy, who has already been in the game for Bacanio.
That's correct. She's a 120 hitter on the season.
Ground ball just wide, a third, foul. Well, she put a good rip on that. You never would have thought that average was 120.
Yeah, she did turn on that.
Carpy, sort of that second catcher. She's started a handful of times this season behind the plate. Sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia. Should note that both of our starting pitchers today, Anderson and Cagle, Virginia natives.
Virginia produces a lot of good softball players. I coached several during my career.
Just missed there.
Didn't miss by much.
No. 2-1 to count.
Doesn't this guy know we're hungry?
I bet he's hungry too.
Yeah. And he has no concern as to what you and I feel. I can tell you that right now.
That is absolutely true. You know, looking at the pitch count for Cagle, I mean, she's a strike away from shutting this thing down. 75 pitches.
Oh, yeah, it's been very economical.
And she's done it while still striking out 9 batters to this point.
Yep.
Here's a big 2-2 pitch. Cagle trying to end it. And it didn't miss by much again, and the count's full.
A couple of the Clemson players have started running in. You can see that just missed low, I guess.
Three-two pitch to Carpy. Hit in the air, back in the left, on the move, and the catch is made! Logaleo into the sky to pull it in for the 21st and final out of the game. What a play in left field by Aaliyah Logaleo.
We have seen two outstanding plays by left fielders tonight, one for each team, and it was a great, great play by Logaleo to end this thing. And most importantly, Clemson racks up the first win of the series. It's a good way to start, and just going to be a great weekend here. If you get a chance to come out and see it, I'd recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
We saw two super catches in left field in this game. One was by LaViolette from BC to rob extra bases, and that one by Logaleo to end it. A great way to cap a Friday afternoon and evening here at McWhorter Stadium. Well, the Tigers, they go to 19-4 in the ACC, 29-4 overall, and a 6-0 win for Clemson, a top 20 team looking to pad that resume and rack up wins. They get it started on the right foot here against Boston College. Well, thanks to our crack crew here at Clemson. For my broadcast partner, Scott Whitlock, I'm William Quagama saying so long from Clemson, South Carolina today. Thanks for watching ACC Network. We'll see you next time.